W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of The Last Overland by Alex Bescoby, narrated by the author. The Last Overland, Singapore to London, the return journey of the iconic Land Rover expedition. It's one thing to set out to scale Everest and turn back. No one will blame you for that. But embarking on something ridiculous paradoxically leaves no room for failure. Dan Kieran, The Idle Traveller. Foreword by Tim Slessor. An overland drive to Singapore? You're crazy. It was certainly true that no one had done it before, though it was no secret that a few expeditions had tried, or had at least talked about it. Indeed, back in those days, and I'm talking about the mid-1950s, it had sometimes been called the still unclimbed Everest of motoring. Certainly, in our ambition to give it a go, we were reckoned by some of the motoring press to be geographically ignorant and politically naive. But to us, a bunch of freshly graduated and rather innocent 22 and 23-year-olds, that kind of advice was just an added incentive. We set to work to raise the financial steam, to research a possible route, to start applying for the myriad visas, permits and licenses, and above all, to find two appropriate vehicles. We approached the folk at the Rover company. Amazingly, they seemed to have more faith in us than those media skeptics did. And, again, amazingly, they lent us two brand new Land Rovers. One painted dark blue for Oxford, and the other light blue for Cambridge. Then, no less astonishingly, the BBC, via a young producer called David Attenborough, came good with £300, enough to buy a simple clockwork camera and the film to go with it. With that kind of backing, other potential sponsors now began to take us a little more seriously. Anyway, against the odds, and to cut very short on the umpteen details of our 30,500-kilometre, 19,000-mile journey, we succeeded. Of course, there were any number of problems, both geographical and political, but the one that had really worried us, and the one that had dissuaded all previous attempts, was a roadless gap between Assam, northeast India, and northern Burma. 12 years earlier, during the war, the Americans, under General Vinegar Joe Stilwell, had built a road across that 450-kilometre.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?